Alrighty then. So, welcome to the office. This is a little bit of a life update as well as just some progress reports on stuff that I'm doing this week. I'm making these to keep myself motivated. I really thrive on just like sharing what I'm doing. The more I share about what I'm doing, the more likely I am to do it. And I've been feeling demotivated on a couple of things. One of them is working on a course, not a course, but just like classes teaching people how to do Bible studies. I already gave it one time with the faith share thing, and all it was really basic. I taught people how to study the Bible with friends, how to start spiritual conversations. This time I'm going to be taking it in a slightly different direction. I'm going to be looking specifically at, okay, for the purpose of studying the Bible. Maybe like me talking to friends isn't the hard part. The hard part for me is like, okay, actually doing the Bible study part. What do I do? How do I manage that? That's what this is going to be about. It's going to be more in depth than the original 3-part series that I did on sharing the gospel. This one is going to be more specifically about reading the Bible. People have given me lots of questions on Pastor Eli. I want to dig. I feel like I'm not getting a lot out of my Bible study as much as I want to. What am I doing wrong? And so that's what this is going to be, 4 parts. And I'm going to start it this Sabbath. So this weekend will be the first time that I'm doing these. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to record them. I know for sure I'm going to make this content available, this program, this teaching available. I'm just not sure how I'm going to make it available, if I'm going to record the classes or what's going to happen. That's number 1. Number 2, here's kind of where I'm at. I am in my office, and it is, oh boy. Yeah, it's a process. It's a process. And to be super clear, none of those boxes are office boxes. Those are all kitchen boxes, as well as like kids' books boxes. My office boxes are over here. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Admittedly, a lot of these boxes are mostly empty because I've not mostly, but just like already open, and I've taken things I need out of them. But this is the office. The plan is to make all of this look nice and presenterly for my videos. Nice. My camera slowly drifts. Here you go. There we go. The plan is to make this all presentation space really good. Have some decorations here that make it feel, kind of inviting. Right now it's just blue walls, blue walls, and that's all we get. The other thing I'm working on is camp meeting. This is my whiteboard that I use for keeping track of the stuff I need to get done. The camp meeting is a whole thing. Let me pull up the Canva project so you can see what I'm working with. This is, oh, well, here you go. This is my my thumbnail for last week. But this is actually the schedule that we're going to be working with. If you're in one of my churches and you're checking in, this is what we've been working on. This has not been a solo project, or at least it hasn't supposed to have been, but it has definitely felt that way more than once. I don't know. I'm not doing a good job of delegating a lot of these little tasks out, and I need to figure out how to manage that. That's why that was moved over. Okay, there we go. There we go. And there we go. These lines weren't on the money. There we go. Now those are on. Yeah, this trifold, this is the schedule. We need to figure out what we're going to do. These green things are the things that I care about. These red things are the things that the older people care about. And the green things are the reason why we're having this is what legitimizes the camp meeting as a religious event. We have Dr. Carl Hafner coming in and preaching. I'm not trying to say like I don't want him to preach. I'm just saying in reality, this is when people come to a camp meeting, they're expecting some sort of spiritual nourishment. That's what takes that place. So this is going out to so I'm going to write that up here. Painting for camp, bulletin, schedule, email. Okay, I also need to make a video. This is video. Script for camp. This goes with that one. And Bible study class, which is what I'm working on this morning. The outline that I have is pretty basic. I did use an LLM to format this because I hate going through and formatting everything, but all of this is taken from my transcript, which I initially did right over here. This is how it started. And then I take this and I'm like, clean it up and put these, like, format it, make headings, make subheadings, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm feeling good about it. I want to include some friends who might want to assist in giving us some tips or some guidance on studying the Bible, but I don't know. I am definitely figuring this one out as I didn't even show you what I was looking at. This is the original, and I basically put it in an LLM and I said, format this for me, please. Here's what I'm going for. Here's how long I want them to be, and I want there to be interactive Q&A in the middle of it. Yeah, it's really good. I'm gonna say that one of the two big ideas that I'm teaching is this idea of the loop, where you are repeating something. When I did, actually, I think I've got it over here. If I go back and I go to my pastor credit meal tickets, where's my projects? Here we go. In my projects, I've actually got the house management, Palisade. Oh my goodness, where's my stuff? My wife and I share this, and as you can see, it's got quite a bit of stuff in there. My projects. Where are my projects? Pastoral channel, is it in here? No. Oh, you can see the stuff I have planned coming up. Office channel, YouTube, faith defense with the Bible. Where's my stuff? Office channel. Okay. Weird. Let's search for Faith Share. Yeah, here they are. Ask to connect. Here we go. Read to lead. When I'm talking about the loop, I'm actually talking about this part right here. How to conduct a Bible study, you read to lead. And so you're praying, you read the passage, and you go through this loop. You repeat this as often as you need it. You discuss. I'm going to elaborate more on this issue, because I have found, since I've done this class, that some people still feel a little lost, what's the analogy? Place yourself in the passage. Sometimes asking them point blank like that is not getting the point across, or people are having trouble. I don't, because I'm doing some of these things intuitively, because I've done them for a while, and that's just something you get with experience. So this was me trying to distill these down into actionable steps of, like, what am I actually doing when I'm asking these questions? And so I've developed 4 distinct loop types that you can do, and then you can mix and match these, which I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about how do I manipulate the flow of the conversation by the way that I ask questions and by the order by which I do this. For example, this one, number 3, if you've ever come to one of my Bible studies or specifically a lesson study for the quarterly on Sabbath school morning, you'll see me do this, and this is very characteristic of something that I do. I'll read it, I'll ask the question, people will give their answer, and then I contradict what they've said. I'll say the opposite. I said, but isn't this the case? And then, of course, there's resolve. So read the passage, ask a difficult question, actively argue against your internal assumptions, expose intellectual weak spots, resolve. I'm putting this solo loop, or this loop, into the personal study so that people are ready to do it later when they're actually doing the public study with their friends. Yeah. So it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a really good time. And that's what I'm working on there. The other thing that I need to focus on is a board meeting for Glenwood Springs, as well as board email for Palisade. Yeah, I need to get those things done. Just a lot, and it's Sunday. This is my my planning day. I plan also on Wednesdays, but these 2 days are where I kind of get my head in the game, because then I have to take tomorrow off. And I do say I have to take tomorrow. I wish I didn't. I wish I could just work without breaks. But the reality is, like, you have to take breaks. I have a family, I have kids, I've got a house that I'm working on. Not because we're not trying to flip our house, we're just trying to live in it. We didn't have a kitchen when we moved in, which has been a ton of fun. But yeah, that's where I'm at. This is my office, and it's going to be growing. I'm going to be writing up or just like taking the transcription of my sermon audio and turning it into a blog and putting it on my website. Just making sure that the website's staying up to date. I haven't been keeping up with stuff. Buying this house took a ton of energy out of us, and then catching up with all of the different projects and doing the Bible project in Glenwood, it's been a lot. Let me add that also. Glenwood Bible study follow-up. So I've got to do the Glenwood Springs Bible study follow-up, and talk to whoever won and give them their gift cards. So this is what I am doing today, and then we'll see what we do next week. I mean, I'll do more stuff throughout the week as well, but this is for today. I have to get this stuff done. All right, I will talk to you guys later. This is Pastor Eli After Hours. I'm technically on the clock, but I'm not on the clock, if you get what I mean. All right, I'll talk to you later.